And then you have a point forward in Tay Davis. You know, he rounds out the top 3 guys there. He's a guy that can, you know, score in a variety of ways. He's an elite offensive rebounder, and he's a great passer in terms of initiating the break.
And you see the numbers, just how productive all 3 of these players have been. All 3 of them double-figure scorers. Pack is the lethal outside shooter. Davis, you mentioned his rebound prowess, and Brown has been steady as can be of late, running the point. Meanwhile, for Stetson, they're the underdogs in this one. They're coming in with a 4-8 record and playing another game against an SEC opponent. Their top scorer and their most talented player, Rodney, is Jamie Phillips Jr.
Jamie Phillips Jr., he's one of those versatile players that can play inside out. He's really good in the mid-range, but a really terrific young player. He's a first-team ASUN and was also on the all-rookie team on the ASUN team as well.
So it's the 4th meeting between these 2 programs. Remember, they played last November, an Oklahoma win. Sooners have won all 3 prior meetings, and they've got the basketball on their end of the floor to begin this one. Shane Land, Steven Anderson, Lucas Santos, our officiating crew for the penultimate non-conference game for Oklahoma. That's Mohamed Waghi, who was attacking the basket. They got fouled on the way in, and so Mo Waghi heads to the free throw line on Oklahoma's first possession.
Waghi is one of those veteran frontline players from a year ago. It really had a great finish to the year last year in the SEC, and he's one of those guys that gives them a really good presence in the paint. You know, he's a shot blocker, really good rebounder, but a lot of experience there in the paint for Oklahoma with the big folks.
Now, 5th-year senior is up to a very impactful start. And so we get a substitution here for Stetson. That's Janusz Ratovsky, who enters the game here 30 seconds in for Colin Cool.
Transfer from Texas A&M, getting a chance to play early here against this big front line Oklahoma puts out on the floor to start.
Ethan Copeland tries to turn the corner, and Copeland hits the leaner.
This is a team, again, that can score the basketball in bunches. They shoot a lot of threes. Copeland's one of those guys that's an elite shooter for those guys as well, and you see him scoring at the rim early.
Boy, you see the strength, and that time just the physicality advantage for Darion Reed attacking the glass.
Darion Reed. Tonight, really big focus tonight for Oklahoma is to really work on the three-point defense in terms of, you know, really being there on the catch with these guys. It's a really good shooting team in Stetson, so Oklahoma's got to do a great job with their challenges and their closeout, the high hands.
And they have given up just too many three-pointers, according to this coaching staff. You got 3 seconds left. It looked like Stetson was on the out-of-bounds line. There's turnover.
It's the next step for this Oklahoma team. It's on the defensive end. They can score the basketball with the best of the teams in the country, but defensively, where they've got to continue to improve and have some momentum going into conference play.
Yeah, Rodney, they have played in high-scoring games, so they average about 85 points per game. That's just about top 50 in the nation, but they're allowing 75 points per game. So biggest glaring example of that was allowing 86 to Arizona State not long ago.
And a lot of it has to do with the three-point shooting.
Reed misfires from distance. Waghi on the floor, bounce pass. Davis finishes. Good hustle.
Great extra effort play by Waghi, getting on the floor, getting that extra possession for him, and Tay Davis finishing at the rim.
You know, I mentioned the Arizona State loss, but the good news here, the recent victory against Oklahoma State up in OKC, that was 10 days ago. Really encouraging victory, and one of several against power conference opponents for OU in the non-con. There's Phillips. This is the fall-away.
You got to want to win that Bedlam. Now, Bedlam's a big one. That's a big rival game. They played it on a neutral court. And again, you know, Porter's 2-0 right now against Coach Lutz. Coach Lutz is going to have to get that thing turned around a little bit. He's going to want to turn that around a little bit, but he's gotten off to a great start. He's doing a great job at Oklahoma State. That was a really, really good, you know, good ball game.
It was a well-played game. Yeah, you know about those rivalries around here.
You write the records when it's the rivals, man. Yeah. You got to come. It's the hardest playing team, the team that finishes the ball game.
This is Davis is trying to get into the paint, look to barge through the smaller Sermons, then threw it away. So here's Calvin Sermons III. He initiates the offense for Stetson. Johnson, a step back, left it short, and Reed secures it.
So one thing that Oklahoma's done a great job of is taking care of the basketball. Porter Moser's teams are always they do a great job of taking care of the basketball. They don't beat themselves. You have to beat Porter's teams in terms of not turning the ball over.
Okay, Reed the finger roll. He's got a couple of early buckets.
I like how Reed has established himself in the paint, driving the basketball. I mean, he's improved his outside shooting, but, you know, he's really letting the game come to him in attacking the basket.
Yeah, one-time high-level recruit, just a sophomore. Last year he was at Alabama. Sermons misfires. Phillips flicks it back out. Here's Copeland. And he wants the three. Give him all.
Copeland's a shooter, and again, along with Johnson out there, those guys are guys that can shoot the basketball well from the perimeter. We go back and we talk about Darion Reed. He's a big part of what Oklahoma's going to need to have from him. He needs to be an impact player for those guys this year. The McDonald All-American and a guy that they've got a lot of high expectations for.
Copeland is the flamethrower. He will let it rip from distance. Wagee scores it.
It's a great pass. Great pass by.
So our hoops coverage continues in Norman, Oklahoma. Welcome inside Lloyd Noble Center with the coach, Rodney Terry, Kevin Fitzgerald with you. These Sooners are off to a 9-5 start tonight, making a 12-5 advantage after Xavier Brown's latest triple against Stetson out of the A-Sun. Second season that these two have gone head-to-head in the non-conference, and OU is off to a fine shooting start. They're 5 out of 7 from the field and have gotten contributions from a number of players early on. So that foul will take us to a timeout. We'll unpack this one a little more, we promise, on the other side. Talk to you in a moment from Norman.
The scores, they played well together here as we start the season. And, you know, you throw in Darion Reed, who's the McDonald All-American, you know, you've got a great nucleus of guys there.
Is that dynamic backcourt the strength for this Oklahoma team?
You know, I think it will be, Kevin. I think, you know, those are experienced guys that have been all-league performers. You know, Nigel Pack was a first-team All-Big 12, first-team All-ACC. And then you talk about Brown. Brown was the Atlantic 10 first team.
Yep.
You know, he was on the rookie team, so you got a lot of experience in the backcourt.
Oklahoma pushing. That's Davis underneath, and he draws a foul. So Tay Davis, a senior from Indy, will go to the free throw line. So Porter Moser is in his 5th season now at Oklahoma, the 57-year-old from Chicago. Back-to-back 20-win seasons, plus, as you see, last year, guided Oklahoma to its first NCAA tournament appearance in his tenure.
Porter's won everywhere he's been. I mean, and his teams, again, typically are teams that don't beat themselves. I mean, this group's gotten off to a great start, taking care of the basketball. And I think they're 10 or less turnovers that they average on the season right now. And his teams, again, play really hard-nosed. Defensively is an area that this team is continuing to try to improve as well.
By the way, we got a pair of coaches going with the jacket tonight. I like it.
We got
the they share a tailor, perhaps. Donnie Jones, 7th-year boss at Stetson. Remember, it was a year and a half ago, so 2 seasons ago, he guided these Hatters to the program's first ever NCAA tournament at the Division I level. That 24 season was a terrific campaign, a breakthrough year for the program.
And prior to that, Kevin, they also had, leading up to that tournament run, they had a CBI appearance as well. So, you know, Coach has done a great job. Donnie's done a great job in building the program there at Stetson.
Well, there is the aforementioned Nigel Pack, the lethal outside shooter. He's shooting 47% from beyond the arc. He's done that now for 6 seasons.
I mean, you know what you're going to get from Nigel Pack. His feet are set. He has a quick release. He's making almost 4 threes a ball game. One of the elite shooters in all of college basketball.
Yeah, eye-popping numbers to start.
You talk
on the
about
baseline, yeah, Stetson gets it to go. That's Alex Doyle.
You talk about a guy, Kevin, who's, again, led a team to a Final Four. I mean, he's played in the Elite 8. I mean, he's a very experienced player.
It's Pack, it's Brown, it's Davis. Those experienced guards you referenced, off the turnover, Copeland finishes. So Stetson taking it away from OU that time and converting in transition.
Sermon's good hands there, doing a great job. Sermon's a guy that really did facilitate. He leads the team in assists and had a great job there getting in the gap there and get a steal, 3 to turnover.
Pack was looking for Davis. That one bounced to him. That is a difficult finish for the freshman, Kai Rogers.
I really like Kai Rogers. I think he's going to pay dividends for these guys in conference play. His size and presence, you know, in the post is going to be really good for the Sooners.
Rogers getting some early run. Pack, his man falls down. Rogers secures it. New 20. And back out to Pack. Reed calling for it. He's got the smaller sermons on him. Reed starting to go to work and finishes.
I love the way that Reed has started this ball game. He's had 2 really good drives to the basket. He's playing inside out right now. He's going to get a chance to obviously shoot from the perimeter, but he's really using his size and physical presence in the paint.
Jadon Jones picks that pass off. Here goes Reed. Reed draws the foul. Playing very confident of late. Playing within himself, and according to the staff, he's playing really smart basketball the last few weeks.
You're talking about a player, again, that was one of the top 25 high school players in all of the country a year ago playing at Alabama. Alabama was a loaded team. They had so many front court players and guys up on the wing that it was difficult for him to get significant minutes, but he has a great opportunity here at Oklahoma to be an impact guy and continue to develop as a young player.
So early on, Reed has 7 points. A few substitutions for Stetson, including Sean Morgan. That's the freshman coming off the bench. And so you see what playing 25, 26 minutes can do for a player like Reed. Getting the opportunities, and he's been impactful.
Well, again, I think, too, he's earned the trust of his coach, and I think the relationship there as well. You know, when you get a chance to be on the floor for an extended period of time, coach is going to allow you to be able to do some more things outside the box as well. So his role will continue to expand over the course of the season, but he is a very important piece to this year's Oklahoma team.
Jeff Wankwo checks in for the first time, and Reed sits down. Well, what did Porter Moser say? There's 2 things I want to see. Work hard, play your butt off out there, communicate. That leash will lengthen a little bit.
Give you a little rope to continue to stay out there on the floor a little bit longer. So all you want is a little rope as a player to be able to know that your coach trusts you and, you know, wants to leave you out there for an extended period of time.
So Reed leaves the floor with 8 points. That jumper is pure.
Morgan's aggressive. I mean, he's one of those guys played OTE, and he's played against elite level competition, so he's going to be very aggressive when he comes in the ball game.
Oklahoma doubling up Stetson. Early goings of this one. Oh, he gets fouled, and Jones nails the 3.
Jadon has got a number of plays like that this season where he was fouled on 3-point plays and get an opportunity for a 4-point play here. You see again, he's had a number of plays here. Jadon's into a shot. He's got getting fouled, getting a chance to go to the free throw line. Again, a really good scorer coming off the bench for him this year, Jadon Jones. Do that.
And so Oklahoma on the hardwood, they're trying to make it a 2-0 day. So Aaliyah Chavez, that's the stud freshman for the Sooners, went for 20 points today. Zaya Van went for 21 and 10. You know, they got Reagan Beers back, Peyton Verhulst. I mean, it's many players from that Sweet 16 team from a year ago. You throw a player in like Chavez, it's a winning formula.
Chavez, she's elite. She's an elite scorer and an exciting player to watch play.
So they scored 126. So if you're the OU men's squad, that's the bar.
Yeah, no pressure, right? No, just 126.
126 earlier. Well, Oklahoma's off to a fine shooting start. 9 of 12 from the floor, plus Rodney. They've hit 3 triples, and they've got to the free throw line a whole bunch. So Stetson, they are the underdogs today. It's going to be an uphill climb. They've done some good things there. The turnover, though, gives Oklahoma an opportunity. Before the break, we saw Jadon Jones get fouled on the 3. He completed the 4-point play. And this one's going back to Stetson.
Porter's got some of his bench in right now. He has more depth this year, and he's using that depth in terms of installing those guys early in this ball game. I mean, and I think, again, the thing that Porter wants to see tonight out of this group, though, is these guys really gaining some momentum defensively, sitting down and wanting to guard. You see a possession down here where, you know, they forced a turnover, just sitting down and wanting to continue to build their defense early in the season.
Doyle comes to set the screen for the freshman Morgan. Bounce pass over to Doyle. Trying to go over that right shoulder. Goes up, blocked. It's Kualatak.
Wall's got that length inside there. He's putting on some pounds a little bit. He's a guy that can really shoot the basketball, but he's showing a little bit of defensive presence there. He has great length. He's 6'9". He's put some weight on that frame a little bit. He's one of those guys that's going to hope, give him an impact coming off the bench there. Really good shooter as well.
Redshirt freshman from Haltom City, Texas. It's a Metroplex, right?
It is.
Yeah, I know you would know.
We know Kual pretty well. I mean, Kual's a a really talented young player and an even smarter person.
So Doyle, meanwhile, gets fouled on that spin move. And this is Alex Doyle, the junior from France, that's Colin Cool, who goes to the free throw line.
I like Cool a lot. Cool is one of those guys, again, that he's a versatile forward for Stetson, and one of those guys that has great ball skills, does a great job finishing around the basket, and he can also take you out and also face the basket and stretch the defense as well. But good-looking young player that's going to be an impact guy for these guys heading in the Atlantic Sun play.
He comes over from Georgia Southern. Remember, his dad, Jim, played as well at Stetson, played 4 seasons, was a good rebounder. And so you need connections like that when players pop up in the portal and when you're trying to fill out and determine your roster for the upcoming season.
Well, family tradition, man. I mean, if your dad played there, your dad would love for you to come in and follow in his footsteps and play there too. So it's got to be a great honor for Kula to come in and be a part of the program this year.
You just saw Rogers sits down for Oklahoma. Little backcourt pressure for Stetson.
Show a little zone action right now and stuff. Stetson has a zone, 2-3 zone. See how Oklahoma does attacking the zone.
Oh, it's a turnover. So we've seen a couple of giveaways here. That's 4 turnovers for Oklahoma in the first 10 minutes or so.
It's been an area where, again, they've been really elite this year. The 10 or less turnovers, and again, an unforced turnover right there against zone. Just recognizing what you have. You got a young player in Kowal who, again, they look like they had a set play that they were trying to run, trying to get an overload versus a zone and see if they could get an easy look, and they just turned the ball over.
Nevertheless, it's still a 14-point cushion for OU. Second to last non-conference game for the Sooners before they open up SEC play on the 3rd against Ole Miss.
Porter's got that starting lineup back out there right now.
Yep.
And again, they've started every game this season, this lineup has for Oklahoma.
Brown, no numbers, hesitates. Xavier Brown now knifes in. That one was partially blocked. Wagee sticks with it and banks it off the window.
Wagee, one of the elite offensive rebounders in the SEC, shot blockers, great job finishing there on the glass.
Mohamed Wagee and Darion Reed, the 2 bigs, they have been impactful in the early minutes. Copeland was out of bounds. He's frustrated, but that heel was on the end line.
Wagee following up this shot right here. Great job on the glass. Good finish. He's one of the best offensive rebounders in the SEC.
He leads Oklahoma in that department. It's been the rebounding and the shot blocking as well. Top 10 in the league, to your point, in both of those categories to this point.
Again, he had a great end of the year last year for Oklahoma and really was a difference making for him down the stretch. And he's carried that over into the start of this season.
3 in the air. That one's offline. Tate Davis could not hit it. So this is Phillips, who we spotlighted pregame. Jamie Phillips Jr., the sophomore, averages about 15 a game. Jop up with it. Cool follows.
Phillips is one of those guys, again, that's a versatile player. He's a hard matchup with his size there and stuff. He, again, showing off his passing ability there.
6'5", he's got a lot of size. He is going to be a matchup problem for a lot of teams in the ASUN.
Really good ball skills, can do a lot of different things, versatile player. Can play inside out. I really like what Darion Reed is doing tonight in the paint, attacking, using his size, getting to the foul line.
Again. just glided into the paint that time. Phillips is saying, didn't he move the pivot foot? But he very savvily did not. Goes to the line. It's an 8-point night so far for Reed. He's got 3 rebounds, 2 for 2 at the stripe.
He's done a lot of work in the paint here to start the ball game. I mean, he's gotten downhill on drives. He's gotten second chance opportunities. Gotten to the foul line. Really love the way he's establishing himself tonight. And he's also a guy that can stretch the floor as well and has really improved in that area. But he's really attacking the paint.
You know, against Oklahoma State, 10 points, 4 boards. He was good against Kansas City, their last game out. And so you saw, you had the career-high 18 points in that victory against Wake Forest. It is worth underscoring the wins for OU in the non-con. Oklahoma State at Wake Forest against Marquette. So they have played and have beaten several other power conference teams.
Those are really good wins to start the season. You know, even in their defeats, they've, played some really good teams as well. They played an undefeated Nebraska team and lost to those guys. They played a really good Gonzaga team, who's one of the top teams in the country as well.
They went to the kennel with 1 second here. Morgan misfires. Nigel Pack across the timeline. Jop comes out. And, yeah, that little hedge, that forced Pack out of bounds. And so it takes us to a timeout. Oklahoma leading by 14. It's the holiday season in Norman. 8 points, 3 rebounds on 3 of 4 shooting. Just looks very comfortable. You know, we've seen him make some agile moves. He talked about it previously. He starts his career at Alabama, played only 24 games last year, so was in and out for the Crimson Tide. But he was playing behind guys like Grant Nelson, who's playing professionally. Behind guys like Cliff Amori, really talented veteran. Mo Diabate.
A lot of good players that you're playing behind right there, especially coming in as a young freshman to try to crack that lineup and get significant minutes on an experienced team. You know, but he stayed the course. He played hard and he had some moments at times as well.
Decided to hit the portal after his first season. Lands in Norman, where he's playing 25 minutes a game and has been very dependable. Davis turns down the 3. Tay Davis in the paint's got to give it up. There's Reed. Oh, and he's cutting without the basketball.
Tay Davis, one of those, again, versatile forwards. I mean, he turned down the 3 right there. I'd love to see him take that shot. He's worked on his game in terms of shooting the basketball, but delivers a great pass there with a great shot fake.
And Reed, the beneficiary of that pass from the versatile Reed. Copeland was cutting as well. Wow, how did that go in? Copeland over the bigger defender.
Great finish by Copeland, but an even better pass by Cool. Cool, again, is one of those versatile forwards that you call them point forwards. He and Tay Davis are 2 guys that have really good ball skills, really good passing skills, but are really like point forwards out there for the respective teams.
Pack could not finish, fading away from the basket. You just saw the numbers for Copeland. He's got 9.
Copeland's coming off a game where he made 8 threes.
Yep. Copeland to the paint. That's pure. It was a 29-point effort for Copeland in their win against, it was a non-D1 program to beat Rhodes University.
But you know what, again, anytime you do it in the lights, you'll take it anyway.
No doubt about it. Wagee underneath.
It gives you a lot of confidence, a lot of carryover. But he's a shooter, though. It's what Copeland does, playing off the ball, junior college transfer.
Copeland, pass inside, deflected away. He was looking for Cool. This is Jones. Also had it ticked out of his hands. And then we got a foul on Wagee. Ball back to Stetson.
You know, the rotation down on the defensive end down there, that's the way Porter wants his guys, flying around, helping each other defensively, rotating over, playing with some urgency on that end of the floor is what he really wants to see, and it created a turnover. Now, they came back down and turned it back over themselves, and again, something they haven't done this year a whole lot. They've done a great job of valuing, taking care of the basketball. They've got about 6 turnovers tonight already to start this ball game.
Uncharacteristic for this team. Yeah, they only average about 9 or 10 per night. That's it.
I mean, they had a stretch that were, again, you know, some of the best basketball that's probably been played here in terms of taking care of the basketball over a 4 or 5 game stretch.
Cool sets the screen for Morgan. Johnson calling for it, back to Cool. Johnson, long two, swirls in.
Another one of those transfers, again, who's having a chance to transfer up. You know, Johnson was a really good scorer at the NAIA level. Now he gets a chance to climb up to Division I.
A talk for three.
Kual is a really good lethal shooter, and getting a chance to get to the floor this season. He was a red shirt a year ago, but he's 6'9". He can really stretch the floor with shooting the basketball.
Brown took it away. Xavier Brown accelerates, throws it up. That's good.
Great job pushing in transition, Brown, and finishing.
Cool, aggressive, and a throwdown.
That's a great play by Cool. Great shot fake. Great finish at the rim.
Oklahoma by 15.
Took the young freshman down to the school a little bit. Kyle Rogers has got to stay down.
Oh, man.
He's got to move his feet.
That was impressive stuff. Rogers has it back. Rogers spins, and he wins.
I really like Rogers as a good young freshman for Porter's team. I mean, I think he's going to really help him in the SEC. He's going to have to take some pride down here on defense, though. He can't give up those easy baskets.
So he's shadowing Cool once again. Instead, it's Morgan. Steps back, misfires from distance. So a chance for Oklahoma to extend this big first half lead. Brown, a little hesitation. Score it with the left hand. Timeout Stetson, and OU has taken its largest lead of this first half.
Who's done great shot fake on the young fella and then putting him in the rim with some authority. You know, but you give Alabama credit. They continue to work the game and found a way to get it done on the road.
The beauty of playing these playoff games at home, you know, and the impact it has on the university, the student athletes, the students, the fans, and the local communities.
You get that extra game, you know, and it's at home there, and everybody's excited about being in the playoffs. And, you know, now we're in the quarterfinals. You get a chance to try to make a Final Four run right now. So it's just an exciting time.
Setting a legal screen. It's going to be on Rogers. So that is a offensive foul. Ball will go back to Stetson. Rodney with 3:13 to play. Here's Oklahoma shooting 73% in the waning minutes of this first half. They have gotten a lot of high percentage looks at or near the rim.
You know, that last foul there, I wouldn't put all that on Rogers. Brown has got to wait a little bit and let Rogers get set a little bit as a young player. It's really out front there, and it's kind of an easy call, but Brown has to do a better job of that.
That's Sermons. It's a great point you bring up. It's that timing of that ball screen. So Sermons with his first bucket. He's trying to keep Brown in front of him. Brown has to give it up. Nwankwo turns the corner. Hammer pass. Reed, spot up three.
You know, Kevin, when you're a young player and you establish yourself in the paint the way Reed has tonight early, when it's an opportunity for you to make an open three, now the games come easy for him. I always used to tell guys, get lost playing really hard on defense, and offense comes really easy to you. Darian Reed has done a great job, again, establishing the paint. Now he had an opportunity to shoot the three. When his feet are set, Porter talked about it today at shoot-around. When he's shooting threes where his feet are set, he's really lethal.
13 points in the first half for Reed. Extremely efficient, 5 out of 6 shooting. Everybody has shot efficiently for Oklahoma. They've got 44 and counting, 2:20 to play in this first half. Their penultimate non-conference game. They play Stetson and then Mississippi Valley State next week before SEC play turns up. Sermons steps back, puts up the three, and hits it. Timeout, Oklahoma. So Porter Moser he's hot here after the latest just defensive breakdown on that possession. 2:02 to play. His team still has the 16-point edge.
Well, you know, Kevin, again, Porter calls that turnover. Calls that timeout because he's not thrilled with the way the guys are playing, with the intensity level that they have to play on defense. They're going to be able to score a lot of points this year. They've got to have some level of urgency and some intensity defensively, is what he's preaching to those guys right now. You have to play harder on this end of the floor. We can score the basketball. We got to get some stops. You see Sermons here right now. He's a guy that, you know, averaged about 15 points a game last year from his previous school playing NAIA. You know, another guy that got a chance to play up now and play Division I, and he's a facilitator, but a guy that can also make an open shot, and love the way he's playing for the Hatters right now.
Donnie Jones and this staff, they feel much more optimistic about the roster this season. Remember, after the NCAA tournament appearance, they were ravaged by the transfer portal giveth and taketh away. And so they go 8-24 a year ago, but he has got a lot of players you mentioned, a lot of guys transferring up to this level. I mean, they are very, very grateful for the opportunity to be at this level. Sermons has been pestering Nigel Pack. Reed, corner three, give him another in the money spot.
He's sitting in the money spot. He's got his feet set. That's when he's really good in terms of the catch and shoot. But a great find there by Pack there.
Darion Reed with the best individual performance in this first half for Oklahoma. Sermons thought about it for a moment. Over to Phillips. See if Phillips tries to go to work. Nearly lost it. Phillips rises. That's good.
Bigger body right there in terms of that mismatch and that versatility that Phillips has. He has that versatility in terms of playing inside out. That's just you know, decent defense but better offense.
So less than a minute, first half. Tay Davis goes up with the right and scores it.
Tay Davis is one of those guys can get downhill. He's an elite passer as well as a really big-time offensive rebounder, but you see him there getting downhill and not selling.
Just does a little bit of everything really well. Sermons left his feet, bailed out. Sermons fires, rebound to a Talk. And so shot clock is off. One last possession for Oklahoma, who has shot 76% from the floor. They've only missed 6 times. 19 out of 25. That is a big number.
Yeah, but this group's going to be able to score the basketball.
Yep.
It's going to be, again, their growth is going to be on the defensive end.
Here's a Talk, long two. Oh my goodness, they're keeping up this torrid pace. 2 seconds here. Sermons looks up. Sermons tried to pass it. Time expires, and Oklahoma scores 49 in the first half. 26 of those points in the paint. And the most impactful individual performance, Darion Reed shooting 6 of 7 from the floor and has 16 points.
He's really let the game come to him, Kevin. He didn't force anything tonight, got downhill. He posted when he had smaller guys on him. Got to the corner over there, had his feet set, and was shot ready on his shots. He's played a really good ball game to this point.
So it's halftime. Right after the short break, Peter Burns and Chris Doring, they will talk to you in just a moment in the studio to recap Oklahoma's football season. And they're also going to take a look ahead at the CFP quarterfinals. OU, let me check myself, 52-point first half. He's taken 3 from beyond the arc. He's 2 of 3 from distance. Oklahoma, you just saw it there, were 9 for their last 9 to close out the half. Meanwhile, for Stetson, the Hatters out of the A-Sun, they shot 42% from the floor, hit a couple of big threes early on. However, they just could not sustain the torrid offensive pace for Oklahoma. Ethan Copeland, that's number 1 in the black jersey. He did lead the way for the Hatters. He scored 11 out of 5 of 10 shooting.
Well, Kevin, again, I think earlier, you know, we had the girls play here, and they scored 126 points. So I think the boys were challenged here to try to step up and see if they can't match that.
Nigel Pack nails the straight-on 3. So OU has made 10 of their last 10 shots.
Really good offensive team. I think, again, the one thing that Porter wants to see this group take the next step with is on that defensive end with the urgency and playing hard and having each other's back.
Phillips hoists it up. That's good. Jamie Phillips Jr. with his second bucket.
Right on cue with him playing in the mid-range. I mean, he can use his body so well. Good ball skills. Will be one of the better players in the Atlantic Sun.
Nigel Pack left open, drills another.
You can't leave Nigel Pack. Nigel Pack has such a quick release too as well. I mean, he gets into his shot so quick, but one of the best three-point shooters in college basketball.
And so Oklahoma has started this second half as hot as it finished the first. Johnson cannot answer. Davis snags the board. This is Brown now in a hurry. Xavier Brown. No one picked him up.
That's too easy right there. I mean, Coach Jones can't be happy with that. Your first down defense, I'm going to use some football reference right now. First down defense.
Oh, they're going to like that around here.
You got to get back and stop the basketball. Can't let a guy just go coast to coast, one-man break.
That's a big play. Let me. I'll use some Chiefs. Right, we're close. We're not that far. So I saw Chiefs logo on someone sitting behind us. That was Xavier Worthy type of over the top sort of first down play. Wagee puts it up, got it, and the foul.
Strong finish by Wagee. You know, Kevin, by this time of the year, you really want to have worked on your transition defense. Here's Nigel Pack with a great pick and roll read here, and Wagee finishing strong at the basket. You really want to be, you know, going into the break and going into SEC play. Your first down defense, getting back in transition, getting your defense set. And I know Porter really wants to see these guys play with a lot of intensity on that defensive end in the fourth. They can really score the ball offensively.
Rodney, they have made their last 13 shots. I mean, Oklahoma is shooting dead on 80% from the floor. 80%. They've taken 30 shots.
And I know he's going to want to see that bench come in and not have a drop-off tonight. Again, you want to try to stay sharp. They're coming off two really good wins here, and you want to continue to build on that.
How about Morgan attacking assertively? Earns himself a trip to the free throw line. That's the freshman from Huntsville, Alabama. You mentioned his past with Overtime Elite, the prep program.
Kevin Morgan's one of those guys that, you know, he's fearless. He's not going to be afraid. He's played elite level competition in his prep career, so, you know, he's not going to be intimidated coming in this building playing against Oklahoma. The times he's been in the game, he's been extremely aggressive on offense.
Yeah, he's got 5 points. He has earned his minutes tonight. All right, is this streak going to continue? Davis, yeah, that's 14 out of their last 14, Oklahoma is.
And again, much like Porter on the other end, I'm sure Donnie's also trying to preach to his guys in terms of having a defensive identity as well, but you just can't give those easy baskets up.
And that was a blow by. There have been many of those, just layups right around the rim. Copeland with 8 to shoot, looking for someone to bail him out. Morgan heaves it. Cool got his fingertips on it. Who was it last touched by? It should stay here with Stetson. So Oklahoma has outscored the Hatters 13-5 to begin this second half. They have yet to miss.
They can get in a really good rhythm on offense. I mean, they've had ball games this year where they've scored over 100 points. So, you know, scoring hasn't been an issue for Oklahoma this season.
That jumper is offline. Rogers secures the rebound. Brown over to Jadon Jones. Back to Brown. Cut off by Jop. This is Reed going in strong. Reed misfires, and Jop snags it before it bounces out of bounds. So there is the first Oklahoma miss in the second half.
But
They made 5 straight shots and 14 overall.
I'll take that, though, Kevin. I mean, you got Darion still being aggressive and attacking the basket. That's going to be an easy call right there on Jop right there. Can't extend that arm out there and push. But Darion Reed, I'll take him attacking the basket all day long.
That's his first.
Nigel Pack back into the game for Brown.
I like Pack getting a chance to play a little bit of point guard here right now. I mean, Forsythe's not playing tonight, who would probably be, the backup point guard, but getting some minutes here with Nigel Pack running the points pretty good as well. As you see, Tay Davis, again, really, really attacking the basket there.
It's a good point you bring up. Porter Moser indicating he's basically shut Dayton Forsythe down until conference play. Davis, by the way, is at the line after drawing the foul. So this is the first game that Forsythe has missed, and he twisted one ankle a few weeks back, and then in the Kansas City win 6 days ago, twisted the other ankle. So you can see he's in the boot. That's the sophomore from Dale, Oklahoma.
You're going to need him to log some significant minutes in conference play. He's one of those guys that's hard-nosed. He's going to play and, have a lot of great effort plays. And he's going to give him that defensive intensity as well that Porter's looking for on the defensive end of the floor. But a capable shooter, good player, a winner. But got to get him healthy right now.
Stetson, meanwhile, Donnie Jones is still without one of his rotation players from a year ago. That's Dan McGregor. The sophomore has not played yet this season. Copeland knocks down another triple. McGregor is expected back for conference play. He's dealt with a wrist injury.
This team will be much improved over last year's Atlantic Sun race, I think. You got guys like Copeland that can score the basketball. You got Cool, who's a versatile forward. Really good find. Really good find by Pack.
Pass to Rogers.
Pack's played the point in the past. I mean, he's a guy that can do it. He's serviceable at the point. We know he can really shoot the basketball, but he's an elite passer as well.
The savvy veteran from Indianapolis. Rogers takes the lob pass away. Pack with his foot on the accelerator. A talk for 3. Down and out. It looked good.
It's a great look. Great hit ahead. Great pass.
Copeland gets a talk flying. Copeland left it short. Pack up ahead. Rogers got bumped. Rogers, did he draw the foul? And so Rogers did. He drew a foul on Morgan, and that takes us to a timeout. Oklahoma cannot be stopped offensively. They made 14 consecutive shots before the streak snapped recently. They're still up nearly 30. Here all of those championships year after year after year. Florida, of course, did it 06-07, and that was when Donnie Jones was an assistant on Billy Donovan's staff. Two-time national champion coach as an assistant during his time at Florida.
Those were some really good teams, and really good coaching staff as well. Billy Donovan had a great staff there, and Anthony Grant and Donnie Jones on that staff. I mean, those guys were really, really good.
Anthony Grant, head coach of the Dayton Flyers. He was the head coach at Alabama a number of years back. But those Gators going back to back, as you mentioned, that entire starting lineup, all of those studs coming back. Joakim Noah, Al Horford, Corey Brewer,
Torian Green.
Green.
I mean, Corey Brewer. I mean, they had a great crew, I tell you. Back then, Donnie was one of the best recruiters, too, in all of college basketball as an assistant, and it helped attract a lot of that talent to Gainesville.
Lee Humphrey completed that starting 5. Maurice Spates was a freshman, came off the bench during that second championship.
Yeah, they were loaded. They had a really good ball club, well coached, great staff, and great players.
It's J.R. Leonard, yeah, who attacked the rim, and he earns himself a trip to the free throw line. But Jones was there in Gainesville for 11 seasons before he got his first head coaching job at Marshall. He's been a head man at Marshall, at Central Florida, and now his 7th season at Stetson.
I believe he also was an assistant with Billy Donovan at Marshall as well as being there at Florida with him. But Donnie's a great coach. He's done a great job at every stop, and obviously has made history over at Stetson, taking them to their first NCAA tournament postseason play. You know, just a great coach.
So his freshman there, Leonard, hits a pair. You know, you see the score, Rodney, it's a 30-point advantage for Oklahoma. You know, you were just talking about this a few moments ago. There is really a great value for Porter and his staff to get some of the younger guys work off the bench in a game like this. Waggy, though, one of the starters, strong finish at the rim.
Waggy there at the rim there. Yeah, no, you get a chance. All these minutes are valuable. I mean, again, especially when you have a lot of newcomers, again, giving these guys an opportunity to play. These minutes are valuable minutes for the backup guys who are coming in. And again, you're building your bench, you're building your depth, and you get an opportunity to do it in games like these.
Oklahoma is going to finish up non-conference play against Stetson and then Mississippi Valley State. That is 1 week from today. Before Oklahoma opens up SEC play against Ole Miss. So they will do the Mississippi turn to begin conference play. They play the Rebels and then we'll go to Mississippi State. Step back triple is on the way. Nwankwo sticks it.
Nwankwo's going to be also an important piece coming off the bench. He's one of those guys a year ago, you know, had to sit out because of an Achilles injury, and he's a guy that played a little football, so he should be aggressive defensively. Yeah. You know, he played on the Tulane football team, you know, there as a young player. Now he's playing basketball, so he should be a very aggressive guy.
Oklahoma City kid, grew up half hour from here. Tox secures the rebound, and Pack pushing. Nigel Pack back over to Jones. Oh, this is the second time Jones is going to earn himself a trip to the free throw line to shoot, or the second time that he's been fouled on the three, I should say. Previously, he completed the 4-point play. This happens very frequently for Jones. Why? What is it about his jump shot?
You know what, Kevin, it does, and it has tonight, you know, as well. He's one of those guys that he leans forward on his shot as he's in his shooting motion, and he's, instead of going straight up and down, a lot of times he's forward. So the defender there, if you're right into him, he has a way of a knack for getting fouled and falling back, and the officials has given that to him this season. So if you're scouting him and you're trying to put a scouting report on, you can't foul him as a jump shooter. I mean, he's a guy that is an aggressive shooter, and he's a lot better offensively than I thought he would be this season for Porter, to be honest, because he was a guy that was big. He was the Big West Defensive Player of the Year.
Yep. 4 years at Long Beach State, and then he transferred over to Oklahoma ahead of last season, but missed the entirety of his first season in Norman with a back injury. So Porter Moser, it is just a luxury to have this veteran coming off the bench.
It is, and the other luxury part of that, he was in the portal, but he's had a chance to be in your program for a year. He didn't play, but he was here. He was in the culture, so he knows everything about the way coach wants to play offensively and defense. So that's a leg up for him.
So Jones hits 2 out of 3 at the line. Meanwhile, Stetson going back to work offensively. This is Ratovsky. Flicked it back out. Stays here with 9 on the timer.
It's really good defense by Tay Davis. You know, holding up bigger guys. You know, really standing his ground in the post. We've talked about it, Kevin. Again, this is, you know, these minutes, you're not playing the scoreboard right now. It's not about the scoreboard right now. It's about his team continue to build and continue to get better, especially in the areas where he wants to get better, and that being on the defensive end of the floor. He wants to see guys still playing hard, competitive, with a lot of intensity on the defensive end. Offensively, they're going to be fine this season. But right now, you got 12 minutes to continue to improve and build on trying to be a good defensive team.
just creating, continuing to fortify, sustain those habits.
Of course,
with
I mean,
SEC play around the corner.
I mean, you're not going to outscore a lot of teams in the SEC. You're going to have to get some stops and be able to sit down and guard defensively and compete on that end of the floor to close out ball games in the SEC.
Oh, Leonard, count it, and the foul. J.R. Leonard, the freshman from Atlanta.
Good young three-star prospect. Dunny and those guys beat a lot of good teams on this kid. Strong body, good size, 6'5", using his body there to get in there and finish that play at the rim. Leonard's a good-looking young freshman.
He's acquitted himself nicely in the first 12 games of the season for Stetson.
Stetson goes back to that zone again. We'll see how OU attacks it right now. See if they're going to do a great job of trying to execute against the zone.
Reed catches, squares up, couple jab steps. Left-hand dribble, spins, keeps the ball high, puts it in.
Great job attacking the 2-3 zone. Get it in the middle of the floor. Anytime you put the ball in the middle of a zone, it gets a chance to flatten the zone out, and they got a chance to do that there, and Darion Reed didn't settle. Got into a part of the floor where he could really score the basketball.
He showed off his agility and footwork today in a number of different sequences. He has 18 points. That leads everybody. Wagee right behind him with 15. Sermons blocked, got smothered by Brown. Ball still free, kept alive, out of bounds. Ball back to Stetson. And so did that one change possessions at any point? Right now there's 3 seconds on the timer. That will lead us to a timeout. Oklahoma with a 37-point edge.
Great job attacking the zone. Got the ball into the middle of the paint there. Darion Reed in a great space on the floor for him to be able to score that basketball. He's gotten off to a great start tonight, scoring the basketball for the Sooners. Reed also getting in on the act in terms of making threes from the perimeter. Who is a really good shooter at 6'9". Brown's making threes right now. They've got a bevy of guys that can score the basketball from the perimeter, but they're at 9 makes right now tonight, and their average on the season has been 10.
They are right there. It's to the point that you just brought up. So many different players have contributed with the shot making from beyond the arc. It's been Brown, it's been Pack. We've seen Reed step out and stretch it. Jones
has been one of those guys that's done it all year long for him. And again, he's a guy that has a knack for getting fouled on his three-point shots.
So this Oklahoma Sooners rotation, it's got a lot of upside. And the one thing that stands out the most to the staff about this iteration of Sooners basketball is that all of these players seem to really care about one primary thing, and that is winning. And look, you may think, well, that should be the case always. Sometimes individual success is a little bit of more importance to some players on a roster, but Porter Moser could not emphasize this enough. There's Reed on that baseline cut. And he's got a group here that truly cares about winning and playing as a team.
Kevin, it's a lost art a lot of times nowadays in terms of guys not caring or not meaning enough in terms of the wins and losses. Some guys are happy with their individual performances and more so than the team. But this group here, he spoke very highly of those guys being super excited about trying to win and the will to win and the care factor. I mean, there's nothing more than caring in what a coach wants to see from a team.
He told us about Nigel Pack when he met with him in the transfer portal. Not, I referenced like that's a place where they met, but while Nigel was in the transfer portal, they spoke. And Pack said to him, there's Jones with another triple. Pack mentioned, hey, look, I got one more year. And where the Final Four is, it's in my hometown, Indianapolis. That stood out to Porter. That was one of the first things that Pack had mentioned when they met. So there is a desire.
You gotta love that, Kevin. I mean, again, you talk about a guy who's played in the Final Four, so he's been there. He knows what that's all about, and winning is the #1 thing on his mind. And a lot of times, Kevin, too, when guys, when you're, you want individual accolades as a player, you're gonna get those individual accolades if your team wins.
Yes.
It's not the other way around where you're gonna get all these individual accolades, come your way if your team doesn't win. It doesn't work that way. But these guys seem to be all bought in, and they all really care about the #1 thing, and that's to try to have a winning season and a really big picture with Pac talking about trying to get to the national championship.
Yep. That formula. Your Texas team a few years ago, that Elite Eight run, it's pretty similar, huh? That formula.
Absolutely, and those guys all love playing with each other. The chemistry in terms of it didn't matter who the leading scorer was on any given night. You could have a different leading scorer, and I think this Oklahoma team's built that way as well, where they could have a different leading scorer every night offensively.
There is Davis with the rim run. Well, tonight it's Darion Reed with a career-high 20 points.
You gotta like that. He's a young player, just again gaining confidence every night out and playing for Coach Moser, and he again is going to be a really important piece to their team this season.
This is Ratovsky, trying to stretch it.
Toski's one of those guys that transferred in from A&M.
Oh, and he got a piece of that Davis shot, blocked it. This is Reed into the corner. Three is in the air, offline. Brown got it back, reverse. Xavier Brown.
Tay Davis kept that ball alive, and like he does, he's one of the best offensive rebounders in the SEC.
Offensive foul. You're up 44 points. You just saw the hustle on that end of the floor. And then you see Wagee taking a charge.
Again, this second chance opportunity was brought on by Tay Davis. Great finish by Brown around the basket. But again, we talked about, Kevin, the care, the want to win, and it's more than just talking about it. You see Wagee there. He takes a charge with, they're up 30 points in this ball game, and he's out there trying to get better defensively. It's what you got to be able to have, but that's a player that's bought in.
Just some great effort on this Oklahoma side, even with the significant advantage. They are doubling up Stetson. And again, this is a Stetson team that is going to be competitive in the ASUN. They're just physically, athletically overmatched in a game like today. This is Alex Doyle drew the foul, so that takes us to a timeout with 7:34 left in Norman. Oklahoma trying to take all the good vibes into the holiday break. Has been nearly flawless on the offensive side here. They're shooting 76% from the floor tonight. The single game, by the way, Mike Houck, he's all over it.
Yeah, Mike's on top of it.
The great SID here. Coming in hot with the latest statistic. The OU single game record for field goal percentage was 66.1% against Baylor. All right, that was just about 20 years ago. Okay, Oklahoma is shooting 76% from the floor. They have kept this torrid scoring pace up. And so maybe a single game record is going to be shattered tonight.
And Kevin, they've done it taking good shots. They've tacked inside out. They haven't really settled. Their shooters have been shot ready. They've moved the basketball.
They have done some really good things on this end of the floor. A talk for three. Oh, they can't miss.
Wall can really stretch the floor at 6'9". He's an elite shooter. I think the thing that Porter wants to see from him is having a little bit more intensity on that defensive end of the floor. It's not a matter of keeping him off the floor with this offense, it's defense.
I mean, Roddy, they got a little, there's 6-4. It's not as if there's 16 minutes to go. You got 6:38. There's some breathing room here. If anything, that percentage keeps going up.
Inside out, Kowal's ready to shoot the basketball. He's a very confident young player shooting the basketball. So what he does is he has a very high skill set shooting the ball at 6'9".
It's the very intellectual redshirt freshman from Haltom City, Texas.
Very much so. I mean, you talk to that young man right there, and he'll probably talk to you a little bit about the stock market. I mean, he's a sharp guy. He really is.
Do I hold? Do I sell? There's another made three for Oklahoma. This is a night that's going to go down in the record books with 6:15 to go.
Just making simple plays, and they're shot ready, and doing a great job sharing the basketball.
Xavier Brown with the latest. So Brown now has 14 points. 4 different Sooners with 10 or more points. Atak misfires from the right wing. Well, that was a step or two beyond the three-point line.
The young fella can shoot it with some range.
Yes.
He's 6'9" out there. No one's coming close to, with the way he gets that ball up there and the way he shoots it.
This is cool. Going up with the right. Can't hit the hook shot. 5:40 to play. Oklahoma is sitting on 94 points. Reed with the spin. Atak. He missed that previous one a little long, and then left this one short.
It's a really good drive by Darian Reed there to find him in the corner.
When's the last time Oklahoma missed? This is a serious question. Missed back-to-back shots.
With great looks. I mean, that was a wide open look. Just missed the shot.
I don't know if correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think that might be the first time that's happened this half.
That's right.
And that's how well they have shot it here. They're 16 out of 23 from the floor the second half. Well, now they've missed 3 in a row.
That's a 4th shot right there by Wagi. He doesn't have to shoot that shot right there. He can get a little bit more movement and then look to drive the basketball.
Cool for 3. A straight-on triple for Colin Cool.
Cool, it's going to be a good player for these guys in conference play. I mean, his size and versatility, being able to stretch the floor, and his ball skill is going to be really good for them in league play.
This Stetson team still without Dan McGregor. That's one of their starting guards. Brown finishes that one. High percentage look. McGregor has been out the entirety of the season to this point with that wrist injury. Donnie Jones very confident that he'll be back for league play. And so once they get a veteran like McGregor back, again, they should be a bit more competitive than maybe the outlook. They were projected 9th out of 12 in that preseason coaches poll. They've got some players.
They'll be much improved for sure in the Atlantic Sun this season.
What's Reed going to do with this one? Picks up the dribble, shovel it over to Brown. Xavier Brown has got 16. Goes behind the back. Wants it. 7 to shoot. Brown fouled. And so that's the 19th foul on Stetson. Brown will be at the line for a 1-and-1. Rodney, they are knocking on the door of another 100-point game tonight in Norman.
They've been shot ready. They played inside out. They shared the basketball. This Oklahoma team is a really elite offensive team. Again, the growth is going to come on the defensive side for this group here as they enter league play.
And their opener is home against Ole Miss. Malik Dia is leading the way for the Rebels. However, Ole Miss has had some, call it, ups and downs in the non-conference.
Again, when you get into this part of the season, I talked earlier about it being a grind, but, league play, everything starts all over again. Your records go back 0-0, so Ole Miss, they got a chance to hit the reset button, and especially at home, you got to protect home court in league play. So that's going to be a great contest to start.
Speaking of that, we haven't referenced this yet. This is only the 6th home game for Oklahoma. They've played, to this point, more games away from home, which, again, illustrates what we were talking about before. You've got a Sooners team that's 8-3. They're on an upswing here, closing out non-conference play. They challenged themselves and scheduled a number of games away from home.
They've been some road warriors. They've gone on and taken on some really good competition, and some of the better teams in all of college basketball right now. Gonzaga, a Nebraska team that's undefeated.
Unbeaten still. Yep.
And I think the one game, if they had a chance to take it back again and play again, Arizona State was the game. Again, Arizona State came out and played great. Coach Hurley's done a great job with his ball club to this point of the season right now, and they shot lights out.
You can see the teams that they faced, notable power conference teams that Oklahoma has played to this point. They went to Spokane, played Nebraska in Sioux Falls. Porter Moser said it felt like we were in Lincoln.
It was a home game for Nebraska, and little did he know that.
Evidently. Played a very high-scoring game in that one against Nebraska. Marquette in Chicago, at Wake Forest for the challenge game. Played Arizona State in Phoenix, and then Bedlam up the road 10 days ago in OKC.
You're building that resume right now. You know, in the non-conference, you want to try to give yourself a lot of room. So when you go into conference games are going to be a grind every night, and you're going to play some of the best teams in the country in conference play. So non-conference is critical for you to get off to a great start to get these wins. And Porter, again, I think at 4 out of 5 years now, he's going to almost have double-digit wins going into conference play. That's a really huge deal. It gives you a little bit of cushion, not a lot of cushion in conference play, but it gives you a little bit of cushion in conference play to go and win some games that maybe you're not supposed to win on the road. You go and sneak a couple of those, but you have to protect home court.
Hey, remember the 13-0 start for Oklahoma a year ago. You know, and that was very important, the wins they had in the non-conference in terms of earning that bid to the NCAA tournament. Pack makes it official here. It's an even 100 for Oklahoma.
Again, Kevin, they had a little pressure on them today coming into this ball game. Early today, the women scored 126 points, so no pressure on them tonight to try to do the same thing.
It was a high bar. All right, you know, they're still shooting 72% from the field. Oklahoma is, which, according to our main man Mike Houck, would set the OU single. They basically have to keep it above 66%. Jones. All right, that won't help, but they got some breathing room. They got some breathing
room. And that
room.
was a wide open look. And Jada Hunt-Jones, he's shot the ball extremely well for him this season. I mean, that was a great find, great look, and just didn't go down for him. But you got Tate Davis doing what he's done all year long at a very high level offensive rebounding. He's one of the best offensive rebounders in the league right now going into the SEC.
Just to put it in simple terms, because I don't want to overcomplicate it, it looks like Oklahoma, it appears that they're in position to set the single game record for field goal percentage. With 2:02 to play, that's not too many more possessions. So, by the way, we want to show you this. Average net ranking by team per conference. Take the net rankings of all the teams and all those conferences, average it out, and you just saw a moment ago the SEC has the highest average net rating of all those power conferences listed. There you go, just slightly ahead of the Big 12.
Well, I mean, coming off a historic, season last year, in the non-conference, they've done it again this season as well. Out of conference right now in terms of what they've been able to do here to start the season. Teams have gotten off to a great start. I think we have 7 teams in the SEC that are in the AP top 25.
Yep.
So I mean, it's going to be another strong slate, in terms of a gauntlet of a conference race again.
Buckle up.
Buckle up. Put your seatbelt on. Bring your A game every night.
So Reed Lovelace, by the way, is set to check in. Program vet. He's going to have to wait for the next whistle here. 1:50 to play in what has been an OU stampede. You referenced it, though. Top 10 ranked women's program. Winners earlier today scored 126 in their victory earlier. And the Sooners are headed towards a 2-0 day on the hardwood. One last timeout in Norman. To set a single game program record for field goal percentage against Baylor in 2005, all right? The previous high, 66.1% field goal percentage in that game. Right now, with 150 to play, they're at 70%. They got some breathing room, Rodney.
They got a little bit. It's within reach. It could definitely happen tonight. It's right there for the taking for them tonight to make it happen.
In all seriousness, though, that would certainly be a notable mark, and a little drama perhaps left here against Stetson.
Good to see Lovelace getting a chance to get in here. I'm sure he's a guy that, again, practices really hard every day. Now he's getting a chance to get a shot
here. They left him open.
Here.
Lovelace misfires. And so this is the senior from right up the road in Oklahoma City. So he scored 3 points earlier this year, but that would have been a that would have had this place rocking.
They would have been excited about that. You talk about these guys putting all the hard work on practicing with these guys every day, giving them a chance to get some game time. He's got another look here.
When you're on the floor in this moment, the ball's in your hands. You don't want to pass, but a talk is going to the line.
He had an opportunity there, but he gave, he was being unselfish, made the right play.
Right play. Look at me, I'm getting greedy over here. You're right, you got to keep me in line.
Oh,
well,
no.
for Stetson, again, they're in a situation very much where the underdogs, and you said it before, they're 2 seasons removed from the NCAA tournament. Last year, the entire roster just ravaged by graduation, by players hitting the portal. So took a little bit of a step back last year. It does seem like they're going to be more competitive in the ASUN this year. Tonight, again, just overmatched.
Well, again, a big win for him was being able to have Phillips Jr. back this next season here.
Yes.
Had a great freshman year. We're on the all-rookie team. He's a first-team selection in the ASUN. So getting him back, and having him for another season, I mean, they're going to be in play in terms of, their level of competition in league play. So they'll be fine.
Corner 3, that one is offline. That was Jake Hansen. You got Darion Reed is going to add 2 more to his career high now 22-point total. He'll join us when this game finishes up. We'll get his thoughts on how his performance went today and how this game unfolded. Lovelace, a steal, a lob, and a talk throws it down. So Lovelace gets the assist. Oklahoma's now at 107, and I think it is official. They're going to set the program record for field goal percentage in a game. They're at 67.8%. They're gonna just make it here.
Career night tonight. You see Lovelace coming in the game. Again, he's made all the simple right plays. I mean, he had a chance to come down and shoot the basketball himself, but making the right play. And again, a career night for Oklahoma in terms of their offensive efficiency and really executing and shooting the ball at a very high clip.
This is Miller McGowan, the freshman, getting some minutes late. Oklahoma, one last game in the non-con against Mississippi Valley State, and as we alluded to previously, they open up conference play against Ole Miss in less than 2 weeks now.
It's going to be a really good game on the road. Anytime you go on the road and you're in conference play, it's going to be a tough out. And I'm sure Coach Beard's going to have his team ready to play. They play a really physical brand of basketball and tough-nosed defense, so should be a good contest to start conference play for the Sooners.
So the Sooners score 107, and they will improve in a few moments to 9-3 on the season. Clock hits all zeros, and so the 68% field goal percentage tonight is a new single-game program record for the Sooners. They were well over 75% shooting for much of this game. It was some high-level shot making for Oklahoma.
Well, again, they were, they got a chance to play the right way. They made the right plays, and again, attacked on their terms. They didn't settle tonight. Really continue to try to get better, and go into the break with really good momentum is what Porter Moser wanted to have for this team tonight. Great job, man. Great job.
There comes Darion Reed. He's going to join us here in just a few moments. A career high 22 points for Reed tonight. That's going to make Porter Moser happy.
proud sponsor of Booster Athletics, your My Zone Center fans.